I've been thinking about a great many things. First off, I think I'm still stuck. That's what I'm thinking. Secondly, I've been thinking about the game. I don't know about y'all. I'm getting some fucking tonal ass whiplash here. Playing like from what we played yesterday and last week. You know, just in general with Sora, particularly. This motherfucker's getting kind of weird on me. Okay, so first off, let's actually use Jimmy's journal. Not that loud on the recording. Anyway, I've been thinking about how the tone of the game switches. So, you're going through the intro with Roxas, and it's definitely not happy-go-lucky, you know, it's meant to start that out, but then it gets, like, melancholic, and then it just starts, like, the absurdity and, like, reality-bending shit just keeps going and going and going until you're, like, you kind of hit this point where you realize he's not going to make it, you know, this, like, point of despair, and then you start Sora's version of the game, and it's just goofy-ass Sora, you know, just back to his wacky-ass annex running around and shit, and like, what the, like, the fucking, I can't help but feel like there was a again, I can't help but feel like there's a disconnect between the first and the second part of the game. The same with Kingdom Hearts. I talked about how Destiny Island felt like it was almost felt like it was a thing to its own, you know, like this was kind of like a proof of concept that was designed well before Kingdom Hearts was actually incepted, and then it was like, that's where they started the game, but nothing ever really matched it tonally after that, you know, none of the platforming was as good or as crisp, none of the combat was like, the little duels, in the practice duels, they feel far more just like fluid and well thought out compared to any of the combat for the rest of the game. The race with Riku felt really good. So I'm eating candy at the same time trying to talk. You know, you definitely felt like there was more focus on that part of the game compared to the rest, where they just started slap banging Disney worlds together. You know, I don't think you ever race anyone after that part in the game. Maybe Coliseum somewhere, I don't know. But then you kind of get the same thing here, where fuck, what's it called? Intro? The first part of the game. Its fucking name is eluding me now. Holy shit. Prologue? We'll call it the prologue. Feels entirely different in terms of tone and depth, and then, like, you could kind of argue, like, well, okay. You could argue that there is a different tone compared to when we start here, like, because goofy-ass Sora, we haven't actually seen since, like, the second quarter or third quarter of fucking Kingdom Hearts. Because, like, he's goofy on Destiny Island, his fucking world falls away, and he's just kind of okay with it, which is really concerning if you think about it, but we'll kind of just move on, you know, he gets the Keyblade, he's now the hero, you know, he's got something distracting from all the presumed death of his entire friends and family and loved ones that were on the island when the world disappeared. And he's goofy and fighting with these two and bickering and, you know, just acting like a 15-year-old kid through most of the game until you get the Hollow Bastion, and then he loses the Keyblade, and the realization kind of comes crushing down that no one was really with him because of him. They were with him because of the Keyblade. You know, and he has some growing up to do there. And then immediately after that, you get the weird fucking waxing poetic about light and darkness and friendship that just kind of comes out of left field. Beat the game, then we get into Chain of Memories, and Chain of Memories you actually get some really good development, not necessarily like in a direction you may want from a character. Like he turns into an asshole, especially to Donald and Goofy, who are like apprehensive about getting deeper into this shit. And he becomes obsessed with Naminé. Like we talked about, there was like, I didn't remember him becoming that obsessive about her. You know, it was kind of like, ooh, like a kind of a creepy vibe there. But my point here being is that since we've reset him back to the end of Kingdom Hearts before we even went into Castle Oblivion, it seems like he's now just goofy ass, like the shit he learned when fighting Ansem and Riku and all of that just kind of is gone. You know, I don't know. I'm kind of losing my train of thought here. But that's the two games that we had before this, you know, in like not chronological story-wise, but kind of like development-wise. We had Kingdom Hearts and Chain of Memories, and then 2. Then 358/2 came out, and even like kind of twisted the knife on Roxas even more. Like Roxas's part was supposed to be sad, I guess. You know, you had to fight your best friend to the supposed death. You realize you're trapped in a digital world. You realize that you're part of someone else and that your existence is going to end, you know, like, or that you were never meant to be in Twilight Town. Like, you didn't actually have these friends. They were just like you were injected like a bacteriophage into this program. You know, that's some fucking existential shit, you know, that's pretty heavy. Chain of Memories got pretty heavy too, you know, it was grounded. That's kind of how I felt like, the end of Kingdom Hearts was pretty lofty in its philosophy and kind of didn't make any sense because of it. Like, Chain of Memories was grounded. Sora just wanted to fucking kill these motherfuckers, you know, that was it. He wanted to beat them and save Naminé and get his memories back. Like, that was it. Or find Riku, or whatever the fuck, you know. He had a clear goal in mind. Where the fuck was I going with this? Here, we're just kind of, like, developing as it goes. And now, with 2.5, we're supposed to have watched all the cutscenes for 358/2, or presumably played 358/2, which I did. And, like, that just adds even more to Roxas being this kind of tragedy where he had to kill his friend in a very brutal fashion, and then he left the organization, and then they fucking trapped him in a digital world, you know, like, there's nothing happy about that, and yet here we are back in happy-ass Disney World. So, I don't know. It's getting weird, I guess you could say, and maybe there's a point to that. Like, I didn't pick up on, when I played Chain of Memories the first time, that you were supposed to realize this wasn't what happened in the worlds the first time, you know? Like, I thought they were just telling a different version of the story. They were, but it was supposed to be that their memories are being altered from the original. And that was supposed to be like this kind of apparent thing happening. Maybe there is supposed to be, like, we're supposed to be picking up on Sora's a little too happy. Things a little too cheery. You know, like, we just watched someone disappear from existence. Why are we so happy, you know? Maybe that's what's going on here, and I'm just kind of being over-analytical. I don't know. All I know is I don't know where the fuck I'm supposed to be going. So we're gonna fight this